Cloud. One, two, three. Greetings, warriors! Tonight, I have a special interview that I'm doing tonight. Now, you guys know how much I enjoy all the movies that we've been getting for Higher Universe, right? And everybody knows that there is one actor or actress, everybody depends now. It's an actor, actress, everybody's the same, right? And her name is Elizabeth Chamberlain. She is the beautiful shield maiden with the glorious red hair, right? That has been in at least four movies that we've had on, and she's fantastic. So, Elizabeth, hi, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I didn't know I was a shield maiden. That's exciting.
A shield maiden. Well, that's what we call a Viking warrioress,
I love
a
it.
shield maiden. All right. So, right off the bat, right, the movies that we've had on the show recently that you've been in, grotesque, fantastic, and you go from being the cute little girl next door to this creepy psycho like that. And it was hysterical. First time I watched it, right? I got a big nose, right? So I thought I could relate. I've heard every Pinocchio story, you know what I mean, growing up, right? Like Johnny, tell a lie, ha ha ha. But when I saw that the trailer for Grotesque before we watched it, right, I'm like, I can relate to that, right? Now I never had a nose job. I've had it broken a few times, but anyway. But in Grotesque, you were fantastic. Like I said, you went from the cute little girl next door, right? Who kind of weird reading, her favorite books, the axe murderers of Canada, or serial killers of Canada, you know. And then we saw I'm Haunted, which was it. I'm not somebody who likes first person movies,
Oh,
right? But that one I really liked because of how you dealt with the drama and this intense, intense, intense. And then throughout the whole movie, you could actually see your eyes underneath your eyes getting darker and darker as you start to kind of go, you know what I mean, nuts from oh, Serial? What was his name? The
cereal.
what was the guy's name?
Honey oats.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sear, S-Y-R.
Sear. Okay, yeah.
Sorry,
And then
C-Y-R. Anyway, yes,
CYR. Yeah,
yes.
right. I can't spell, right?
No, me
Unless
either.
it,
It's been a while.
unless it's in runes. But so how did you get started? I mean, you're an actor, you're a singer, you're a dancer, you're a teacher. I mean, you have everything going for you, right? How did you get started in this business?
I guess I got started a long time ago in high school theater, actually.
Hmm.
So like a decade ago.
Mm,
Too long ago. Yeah, I started doing musicals when I ended up in high school, and then my director slash drama teacher there, he instructed me to go and pursue theater or acting post-secondarily. So I ended
mm,
up going and moving to go to school, and I went to school for 6 years, 5 years, and got
mm,
a diploma and a degree in acting. And
mm,
then while I was pursuing that, I just, heard about casting calls and saw that and started applying. And I ended up getting some gigs. And actually, Brandon Rhinus with Higher Universe was one of the very first guys who picked me up in the film industry. Back then, the company looked a little different, but we ended up continuing on through all of the shifts. So yeah.
mm. Yeah, and it's from from the different, you could just tell with the Higher Universe crew. There's like five or six of you that are in all of them,
Yeah.
right? And so I was watching oh my goodness, I was watching Ezra and Gorgirl again, right? Now, your crazy ass boss from Grotesque, right? She was soccer mom,
Oh my
right?
God. She is so
Wow.
good in
Oh
Soccer
my,
Mom.
she was fantastic because, and she's acting, it's the same character that she
Yeah.
had, you know what I mean? It was just that she was creepy in a different way. Instead of being bitchy creepy, she was like, she's going to kill you in a basement creepy, you know?
Yeah.
And she was really good. But do you guys have like your own theatrical group a part of Higher Universe, or it just
Well,
happens that you have the same group?
it's a good question. Brandon is basically the head of Higher Universe, right? He
Okay.
he is the mastermind behind everything, and he really likes working with the same people. And I think it's a
Mm.
smart thing.
Oh,
Whenever
James
you
Gunn
hire,
does.
sorry?
James Gunn's the same way.
Yeah,
James Gunn
because
from
whenever you
Marvel,
hire
DC.
a new person, you take a risk.
Hmm.
You're like, I don't know if they're going to show up, or I don't know if they're going to vibe, or I don't know if they're going to do a good job, or whatnot. Whereas Brandon feels very comfortable in working with the same people, and you get a great benefit of creating, like you said, like a team, an
Hmm.
ensemble. You don't have to break the ice with somebody you're meeting for the first time because you've worked on them for 12 projects. You
Hmm.
know, so I think it makes us a really, really strong group, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Yeah, it makes right off the bat, it makes your table readings so
Yeah.
much better because
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about how they're going to act, right? Because you know, and then you can say something to them and not insult them. Like, hey, could
Yeah.
you do this a little like that, like that? No, really.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody you're not familiar with, they're like, what do they know, kind of thing, you know?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. So
Well,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, I'm
Addi-
interviewing you. You talk.
Additionally, Brandon, he's an excellent, excellent writer, right? And I think something that is interesting to him, something that he does often, is if he knows the person, it's much easier to write a character for them, right? So
Mm,
whenever Brandon sends me a script where he has a character for me in mind, it's so easy to do a table read or any sort of reading for it because he's already written it in my voice.
mm,
He knows the character is going to work for me. He doesn't write a random script and then ask the people to audition for it. He's written these characters with the actual humans in mind that
mm,
he has
mm.
worked with, right? So that's a great, great benefit, I think.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. Like, like I brought up James Gunn. James Gunn has his brother. He has oh, the guy from The Rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean? So he has like the same five or six people all the time, and he knows, right, that even if they're working with other newer actors, they can direct them, like, hey, he likes to do it this way, kind of thing.
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And
I,
also it's a good thing for the audience too. I know I've watched a couple groups that hire the same people every time, and I love it. Like I
mhm,
love seeing, my favorite people working in like six different characters, and then like in this movie down the line, these two people love each other, and then this movie down the line, these two people hate each other, and it's like
mhm,
that's really fun. Like I don't know, you feel like you're a part of the team, you feel like you get to know the people better, the actual
mhm,
actors better.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and we get a team working together. Like I said, I run a scout troop, right? And just seeing the kids work together and then they get older and they leave for college. When they come back, they automatically drop in to the same team dynamic they had before because they're so used to working together. Like that, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you can cook, you do the drill, you do this, right? Because they know each other's limitations, they know everybody's um what they can do. So I understand that perfectly, and I think that's great, you
Yeah.
know. Oh my God. So, what was your first film?
Well,
Shorty or full length?
my very first film was a student film
Mm,
that I don't think anyone can find. I don't know if somebody can find it, that'd be interesting. I think I have a copy of it somewhere.
mm,
It's called Virgo Angelica. It was a silent film. Um, and it was like kind of we were doing it in the style of anime, it was like hyper dramatic and you like zoom in
mm,
on the hand clench and then there's like a look and then there's like the villain shows up and everybody's like, ah, anyway, so that was really fun. But my first film that people can actually find that's out there was a little film called Cold Comfort. I have the poster for it right there. It's
mm.
now called The Project because since it
Okay,
went to distribution, the distributors decided to retitle it. And that one was with Brandon. So
okay.
originally, my character was just a voiceover. Basically, Skylar Radzian plays the main character. She's
Mm,
wonderful. And her character is trapped in a room and she doesn't see anyone. She's like totally isolated. So originally, my character was just somebody that she can call on the phone.
mm,
And then once it went to the distributors, they decided that they wanted to add my character in actually like on screen. So we ended up reshooting a lot of the scenes where you can actually see my character on the phone calling. So
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, and you have a great voice other than, I mean, you could do a lot of like, I mean, do you do commercials and things like that where you do voiceovers?
Honestly, I've mostly stayed away from commercials.
Mm,
I just like fiction. I like narrative a lot
okay.
more. But yeah, I don't think I actually have done any official commercials. I've done like lots of commercial courses and stuff, but
No,
for
but I mean, because
stuff, no.
you have you have such a good voice that it would be really good if for even just voiceover kind of work.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'd
mean?
love to
Like,
do voiceover. I
yeah.
mean, I'd love to do anime. I'd love to do like cartoons, things like that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you'd be
I've done a
perfect in a
little bit.
cartoon.
I've done a little bit of voiceover. I did a video game. It's available on Steam.
A video game?
Yes, I did a video game.
What was the
What
game?
is it? What is it called? Uh, a Star Apprentice? Star Apprentice.
Star
I
Apprentice?
think. I think that's what it's called. It's like a train murder mystery game.
Mm,
So that was fun. I did that. Yeah, I've done a couple things just for people. I do the for the new Higher Universe movies at the very beginning of the movie. It goes Higher Universe Pictures. That's me.
yeah. Okay.
Um,
You dropped your
yeah.
voice an octave when you did it. You did. No, because it sounds like you, right? But it's just a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we did a lot of voice work in my degree, mostly with David Lee. He's friggin' awesome. So
Hmm.
it would be a real shame if I hadn't learned something from him. So I hope so.
So tell me about your singing career. So I was looking, I ran some of your songs off your page, right? So the one that everybody knows out there, so guys, when you watch Grotesque, right? Casually suicidal. Like
What a song!
it
What a
was
night title.
okay. So all right. So it sounded like you were speed reading your song when you were
Okay.
doing it, right? And it was so the first time I'm like, is she talking about committing suicide? Right? And then I went back and played it again, and it was oh, casually suicidal, and it was hysterical, right? And to
Oh,
sing it at karaoke, right, was even better. You know what I mean? And but like a couple other songs you have, like Vampire, I just watched, right? That was really good. And your version of White Christmas, oh my God, the angels sent that down. It
no.
was beautiful. If you suck, I will tell you.
Okay.
You were good. That was very good. It was
Thank
funny. I
you.
showed Helga, right? And she really liked it. And she loves all the Christmas, all those the Christmas. Like we have the Hallmark Christmas channel down here, which is on like 365 days a year.
Yeah,
And she watches that a lot. And she loved your voice in that song.
I
You know what I mean?
appreciate that.
So did you have that on an album or anything?
No, I didn't put it on an album. The only things I've really released, like as proper music on the music channels and stuff, is just original stuff. But I
Mm,
have thought about doing a Christmas album. My mom loves Christmas and she loves
mm,
Hallmark movies as well. So I did White Christmas. I did that cover really for her, so she'd have
mm.
something to listen to. But yeah, I don't know. I love singing. I love it. I love songwriting. I don't do enough of it, to be honest. It's hard to like I'm just so busy. It's
Mm.
hard to manage doing all of that and also all of the acting I do and also making money and staying alive.
Uh, uh,
You know?
oh yeah. I mean, unless you're top tier, acting don't pay the rent. You know,
No, it sure
that's what
doesn't.
I hear.
Hmm.
So, um, so was it Beast Mode? That was I saw the video for that. That was really different. You
Yes.
know.
Spencer Richard and I, Servant is his stage name or his music
Mm.
name. He and I have done a lot of collaborating
Oh,
in
okay.
music. So what you've seen out there is Beast Mode. We also have Guilty Conscience released, and I think as of now, that is it. That's the only things
Mm.
that people can see publicly. But we have a lot going on behind the scenes. So there
Oh,
is a lot
excellent.
yet to be released. So it will happen in the next little while. I don't know when we're gonna finish it.
Mm.
That kind of stuff takes a lot of time. A lot
Oh
of time.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, just I mean, I can imagine what the sessions are like. I played in a band, and it's it, when I played way back when, you went in and you just played it and that was it.
Yeah.
Now, like everybody's separated and you're playing the guitar in the room by yourself. And it's not for me. I'll
No.
stick with watching bad movies, you know? No, because the way I looked at it, and I have a friend who's in a band. The 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 group dynamic gets taken away, right? When they bring it, so you're going to sing, you're going to do your bit, you're going to do your drums, you're going to do this to that, and then they put it all together, and it's like it sounds great, right? It's going to sell records, but it's not like the five guys in the garage, playing their music, you know. So I can only imagine how much work you're doing with that. Holy cow! So.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. To be honest, it's more work for him than it is for me. He does most of the writing, and then I just show up and I sing, and it's just a lot of fun for me, to be
Oh,
honest. He does all of the production and stuff, so I just get to do the fun parts.
oh, cool. So,
Yeah.
so, hey, what songs do you have that have actually been out there, like, that people could listen to? Like, do you have
Well,
anything on Spotify or anything, or?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, we have Beast Mode out there, we have Guilty Conscience out there. You mentioned Casually Suicidal, that one is out there.
Okay.
For Markings of Murder, I did a song called I Should Have Known. I think is what it's called. I'm
How you
like,
gonna remember the words to the song? You can't remember the name.
no, see, that's the thing. All the time people will ask me to sing my own music, and it's like, okay, but I have to practice. Like, I don't remember any of my own stuff. Are you kidding
Hmm.
me?
I don't remember
Um,
my own jokes.
Yeah, like I wrote these lyrics, and darn if I remember anything about what they are. Okay, we got Run Back to Me. That was from the movie The Code that was done in the UK.
Hmm.
It was a military movie, so I did that one. I released just recently a song half sung is what I titled it, and that one's a sad one. It's about a friend of mine, an artist who passed away.
Hmm.
A couple of friends, but it was mostly inspired by him. Um, that might be the only ones that are out there, like actually on Spotify, I
Hmm.
think. I do have a decent amount, like you can find me on YouTube doing a bunch of things, but yeah, those
Hmm.
ones I think are the only ones officially released.
Okay. Well, I'll
Yeah.
have to start listening to them, because you have such a really good voice, and that I'm not saying that to like make the interview good, right? I'm saying that because you really do. And like it's the one that really turned the page for me was when you sang at White Christmas. That was just amazing. You
Thank you.
know. Hey, did you ever hear of the O'Neill sisters? They're an Irish singing group.
Maybe.
Well, around in March, you'll see them on Facebook every day, right? Because they do a lot of Irish ballads. You have a voice like the uh the older girl. I can't think of her, Nancy, I think her name is. Right? It's just it's pitch perfect. All
Oh,
right.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to insulting you. All right. So, all right. So I just like I was catching up on your movies, right? I saw Grotesque too. Right? Oh my
Yeah.
God. You turn from being the cute little girl next door, right? That reformed herself from being with Madeline, right? Your name's Madeline in Grotesque.
Oh, Mildred.
Mildred, right? And she's all happy and she's gonna get some religion, and then you get pissed off, and next thing you know, it's like the axe and everything else, right? And it's just, I think it's extremely convenient that you happen to find the mask and dress that were the exact opposite of a grotesque one. Yeah, just to
Yes.
me that was kind of convenient.
Well, Mildred, she has this kind of unspoken superpower. I don't know if it's ever really like expressed in the
Hmm.
script, but she's a little bit like Domino. She's lucky. She's really
Hmm.
lucky. She comes
Okay.
across things that just work out for her. And she's kind of mentioned like, oh, there is a God and
Yeah,
divine
exactly.
justice and things like that. Well, that's what it is. Is
Hmm.
it's that the universe is rooting for Mildred. They
No.
want the universe wants Mildred to succeed. So everything that she needs ends up appearing for her. She has to, use her brain to figure out how to use it for her advantage still,
Hmm.
but everything she needs is right in front of her.
God. And you were the happiest go lucky killer I ever saw, right?
Yeah.
So in Grotesque One, right? I was watching with my older son, right? And he's 20, so it's he can watch R-rated movies. And when you were just hopping and skipping, right, in front of that one big building after you think you pulled the guy's tongue out, right? It
Sounds
was
about
just
right.
like la di da, you know. And then you did the beach scene from the rip off the beach scene from 10, right? And the guy's cat calling you. You were
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, da 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 da. And it would that those are as Wayne and Garth would say, that was a righteous kill. All right. Wayne and Garth from the yeah, okay, Saturday Night Live. Right. But then in two at the I know, I ramble. In Grotesque 2, right? When you guys drawn and quartered the lady with the accent, I told you she had an accent and they're the drawn and quarter. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. It was just like you guys were looking for newer ways to kill people, right? And
Yeah.
it was hysterical. I mean,
Yeah.
you killed people probably in 26 different ways in the two different movies.
Yeah, we've talked about doing like a kill count video where
Hmm.
we sit there and like go through all the ways that Mildred kills people. So we might do that someday. 'Cause it's a lot. And you'd think that you'd run out of ways at some point. You think that you'd go, yeah, we've done them all. You can't kill anyone else any other way. But apparently not. Brandon can come up with more ways. And there's been several times where he's had like the central team. It'll be me, Julie, Sam, him, Hastings, whatever, like the central kind of team,
Mhm.
and we'll all just sit around and he'll go, okay, and rip up a couple paper and everybody come up with some kill ideas and put them in the hat, and we'll see what sticks. Most of them don't stick, he's the one who's really brilliant with that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
but some of them, I think originally, I don't want to claim anything that's not true, but I think originally I came up with something to do with the pool cue
Mhm.
kill. I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with that. And
Hey,
then he
the
ended up
pool cue.
transforming it
Yeah.
into what it actually ended up being.
Okay.
But even that, once he comes up with it, then it transforms again once it hits the makeup artist or the prop artist, right? Because they have to figure out actually how to make that work.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's really fun. It is
Yeah.
all good fun.
Well, I mean, the creativity, like the one scene, right, where after you get done ripping your boss's innards out, you decide you're going to play jump rope, and you go, "Oh, I made the 17. I beat my sixth grade record." It was just
Yep.
like, it was
Yeah,
just,
believe it
it was
believe it or not, it's
hysterical.
not the only time I've skipped with intestines, actually.
Oh, tell me more.
There's a movie called Skate to Hell. It has not been released yet,
Mhm.
but that's a film by Sean C. Phillips. It was filmed in Las Vegas, and my character in that film, she gets possessed. She's totally a normal skater chick, just living her skater life, and then she gets
Mhm.
possessed and she goes crazy, and she ends up pulling out Jeffrey Scott, who is actually an investor in Grotesque 2.
Mhm.
He gets his intestines ripped out, and I skip with them. So I don't know what it is. People are just like, that girl looks like she needs to skip with some intestines. Yeah. So I done it. Yeah.
It was just it's like I said, you come off as the innocent girl who just went bonkers. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And it that was funny. And then when you decide you were golfing with the guy's eyeball, right?
With eyeball?
It was an eyeball, yeah. And then you got it into the bucket, yeah. Again, I just saw it, so it's like fresh in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh, so tell me about Space Command. All right. So you did. So
Space
how
Command.
exactly? And I remember when that came on, right? Way back. I might have seen one episode and you were in one episode, right?
Yes, I was in one episode during the pandemic. We did like a everybody shot from remotely, basically. Everybody shot from wherever they
Okay.
were, just so they people could keep making films,
Hmm.
during that time. So I was in that. I'm also scheduled to be. That was kind of like a half episode. I don't, that one doesn't really count in the full series, but I
Hmm.
am supposed to
Okay.
be in Great Solar War. There's a poster for that one there, Great Solar War.
Okay.
Way in the back. Uh,
And the
yeah,
Alien
that
Storm? Go ahead. I'm
Alien
sorry.
Storm. Yeah, Alien Storm was my first movie with the Mahal brothers.
Okay.
Um, but that one's not to do with Space Command. Space Command
No.
was my first film in the States, actually, I believe. Yeah, it was my first United States film, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that one's really cool. Mark and Elaine Zickery are really the, masterminds behind Space Command. And it's a really, really cool thing to get a part of. There's so many people a part of it. Like it's
Hmm.
such a big production company.
Oh, it was
They
huge.
have,
The cast.
sorry, what?
The cast was huge.
Oh yeah, the cast is
Yeah. It
huge. The
was
cast is
like 30
absolutely huge,
people.
and the production
Yeah.
team's even bigger. It's
Hmm.
crazy. There's a lot of people involved.
Yeah. So it did that end? I mean, are they not making any more episodes?
No,
Because it's all.
it's not ended. They're currently working on I believe on the first half of Great Solar War. Right now, they have some studios in Hollywood in West Hollywood. They have somewhere in LA.
Mhm.
They have studios. They have a couple. I think they have three right now. And actually, for one of the Mahal brothers films for Alien Horde, not Alien Storm, but for Alien
Alien
Horde,
Horde.
which, yeah, that one, we actually ended up filming in one of the Space Command studios, which was fun. I didn't
Oh,
know.
cool.
I showed up to set that day and I was like, this looks familiar. and, and believe it or not, yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, hello, everyone. Like, did not expect that at all. They didn't expect me, had no idea that was going to happen.
Mm.
So that was kind of fun.
That's cool. So is your genre pretty much horror and science fiction? Have you done anything like a musical or serious acting or anything? Not
Um,
that what you're doing isn't serious, you know what I mean? But like as a leading lady kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know why, but horror does seem to be what I get hired most for. I'm not complaining. Like, it's
Hmm.
fine.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
love my
You're
job.
good at it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I think it also just spirals. People see me in horror movies and then they want to cast me in theirs, and that just
Hmm.
keeps spiraling on and on. Nothing wrong with that, but it is what I get hired the most for. But no, I do everything. I have done a decent amount of sci-fis as well.
Hmm.
And I have done some serious ones. Actually, Julie Whalen just produced a film called Please Stay, and it's really sad. It is sad. My
Hmm.
character is going through miscarriage and doesn't know why, and it's just like I like filming that film. Like I spent like five
Wow.
days in a row just like crying on a bathroom floor. Like that's what the character has to do. Um,
Hmm.
so that was really fun. It actually was really fun. I love
Okay.
dramas. I
Hmm.
love serious movies. I love like.
Hold on. Hold on.
Mhm.
I'm a fireman. We just got an alert. I don't have to go.
Oh,
I'm not on. But
okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, I really like serious movies. I think the ability to cry on command really impresses people. So that's good. I did a documentary with Gorilla Motion Pictures about the sex trade, and I played a prostitute who does not want to be that, and that's a documentary, so that was a real story. So that was really, really
Wow.
sad. Yeah, it was a really good documentary. That's probably one of the like best, just from start to finish, productions I've ever been in. It was just so
Wow.
real and like important and just like built so well, and I wish people could see it. It's just not out there yet. But
What
it's
was the name of it
really, really
again?
well done. Um, what is the name of it? D let me look it up because it's actually really
Oh,
important. I want people to see it.
yeah.
It'll be really fast. It's in my emails. The Gorilla Motion Pictures. So that would be Sam Reed. Does the
Hmm.
cinematography for that, and he is one of the best cinematographers I've ever worked with. I've worked with a lot of really good ones, but he's stuck with me from the beginning as one of the best. And Justin Kuber, he is the director of that, and they like came up with the concept, wrote it. I
Hmm.
play Andrea Hines. She's the main character, and she's also the investor in the project because it's her story, and she really wants that to be out
Wow.
there. So the series, sorry, it's called Labeled, with
Labeled.
one
Okay.
one L in the middle, not labeled with two L's, but labeled with one. Um, it just talks about, yeah, what society labels people as
Hmm.
sometimes, and then it's hard to see past a label. So I think that's the idea behind the title. So that's one of my
Hmm.
favorite things I've been into. Um,
Wow. I mean that
yeah.
that sounds now. Is that going to be released to the theaters, or is that going to be released to like streaming services?
Well, we did a theatrical release, and it did tour some film festivals and got won a lot of awards.
Hmm.
But I do believe that they are looking for a larger distribution. I don't know what
Hmm.
that means. They don't tell me. I just
Uh,
show up and I act, and then I find out later, right?
hmm.
But last I heard that that's what's going on. It's really important. People need to see it, so I hope that they get the distribution that they need.
Yeah. I mean, it's the abuse of women in that field is disgusting.
Yeah, it
You
really
know,
is.
I the company I worked for in my real life owned psych hospitals, and I would go, and I'm IT. I would go, and they certain hospitals, like some are gambling, some are this, some are that, right? Alcoholism. There's one hospital that's a sex clinic, right? And all these girls that were trafficked and all. It was heartbreaking when I had to go and work because I'm in with the nurses showing them how to use their computers, and you see these girls that are, some older women, some, 20s, 30s, some teenagers, and then some kids. And it was just it was heartbreaking. So I really, really hope that movie gets let out and it gets some acclaim because it sounds important, like you said, an important message for
Yeah.
people. You know,
Yeah,
I didn't think I was.
and it's a personal one. Like,
Mm.
depends on it. I mean, it doesn't really matter what a person's opinion about that kind of stuff is. In my opinion, that's what I think.
Hmm.
When you see a series like that and you hear all the different stories, you can't disagree with somebody's story. It's like that
No.
was a personal experience for that person that was traumatic and awful and heartbreaking. Whatever you think politically is aside. These are stories that need
Hmm.
to be told.
Hmm.
That's what I think anyway. I'm not sure I believe and agree with everything that is said in that docu-series, but I agree with a good chunk of it because it's
Hmm.
about women hardship and yeah, not being able to see past a label that somebody puts on you when that person might be the one victimizing you at the same time. It's crazy. It makes you think at the end of the day. At the very least, it makes you think, regardless of
Hmm.
what you end up concluding from it. So,
Yeah, but still, I mean, something there are certain stories that need to be told, and that sounds like
yep.
it's something that would be looked at by the Academy.
Yeah,
Seriously,
I
you know.
agree. And I'm not
Yeah.
one to back away from a story because it's controversial.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
certainly not.
Yeah. So
I'll go towards it.
yeah. So obviously now you have range, right? You
Thank you.
go from the cutie girl to the cutie girl with a switchblade and knife to the hardcore lunatic, you know what I mean? And I'm haunted and all that. So at that's good for you because then that I hopefully you're going to climb a little bit more because honestly, right? I think you are very talented, right? And your looks don't hurt either, you know what I mean? But no, but all right.
I appreciate that. I
All
do.
right.
I do.
I'm not being creepy, okay? I'm
I
being
no.
honest. I could just see it now. I can see our station manager going, "Oof." But um what?
It's a real thing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I always think it doesn't really matter how attractive somebody is in this
Mm,
industry. All you need to do is look like a human. As an actor, you just need
yeah,
to look
well,
like a person. It's not a big
yeah,
deal. But
yeah. Look at Danny
certainly
DeVito.
helps sometimes.
Yeah, Danny
Danny
DeVito.
DeVito?
He's one of the few people that are shorter than me in
What?
acting. So,
You
but
pick on him?
come on. He well he does I'm where I'm at. I'm outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
And even though our station's up in Brooklyn, he does It's Always Sunny in Philly,
yeah,
right? So he's always in town. And he's just like this little hysterical dude, right? But you picture and he's completely different than everything he portrays. Like I hope you are. I hope you're not like running around with an axe going after people. But I mean uh-oh, that look. Um but he like when you see him in Taxi, you see him in It's Sunny, right? And then you meet him in person, right? And I've only seen him in a crowd, right? When he comes to like Phillies games and stuff. He's just like such a down to earth, heartwarming person. You know what I mean? And then when you see him do some of his shows, you're like, ugh, he's a
yeah.
lunatic, you know? But
Well,
but he
that is
doesn't
how
have
you have to
looks.
be.
So
That is how you have to be as an actor. You have to be really nice. You have to be really
Mhm.
nice. You have to be patient. You
Mhm.
have to be easy
Yeah.
to work with, and then you also have to be the psychopath that they want you to be on screen, or the badass, or the asshole, or the jerk, or whatever they want you to be on screen.
Mhm.
You have to be all of those things too. But off the screen, you got to be nice.
Mhm. Oh, obviously,
Mm.
it's just funny when you see somebody and you're like, now I haven't been around acting my life. I'm an IT guy, right? And I fell into this, and it's just neat seeing, these people, and you see them on the stage and you're like, this guy's a wackadoodle, right? And then he's like, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 where are you from? And it's like,
Yep.
you don't have a bat in your hand you're gonna hit me with. But um, oh my goodness. Now that's my train of thought. Choo choo. Oh, okay. So tell me about um your dancing. One of the things that you have listed is dancing. Now, in in grotesque, right? Just the way you were prancing around and all that. I mean, do you have like have you taken ballet and things like that?
Yes,
Okay.
I actually have ballet in a couple hours.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I have taken a decent amount of ballet. Most of the ballet I have taken, it just so happens that I've just mostly stuck to the bar. Like all of the work I've done is mostly bar work,
Hmm.
which honestly I really like. I started at a decently late age for most people. I started in university ballet. I danced before that, but for ballet, I actually started in university. And so I never went on point or anything like that. And I haven't done a lot of floor work, but the bar work is where you get the muscles. That's where you
Hmm.
get the muscles for other things. And that's honestly mostly why I have taken it and continue to take it, is the muscles and the technique and the form, all of those things. And it's also
Hmm.
a little bit meditative, just to like, let your body do the same motions over and over and over again. And it's like, it's almost like a yoga kind of Pilates kind of thing. You're
Hmm.
working your body
Wow.
in these intricate ways. And then you go to other forms of dance, you go to ballroom dance, you go to jazz, you go to tap or hip hop or whatever, and you'll notice that those other dance styles will increase like drastically. Your abilities will increase drastically if you've done that
Hmm.
fundamental work in ballet.
Hmm.
So that's probably ballet is probably one of my favorite dance forms to take for that reason.
Hmm.
It just fixes everything else, it just makes everything else better. And
Hmm.
the same thing with music. If you take classical music, if you start from the fundamentals and you
Hmm.
take music theory and you take classical music and you train all of that, your pop music and your rap music and everything else will succeed a lot more.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, it's just the grace that you have,
Hmm.
right? Um, like I said, because they say grotesque one and two, just the fluidity. Oh my goodness, I owe Webster a dollar. The fluidity of you prancing through, right? And then one scene where you were killing somebody, you did a spin, right? It was a start because you spin, and I think you missed, and you went, "Oh, let me do that again," and he gashed the
Yeah.
throat. But it just seemed that you have a lot of other talents, right, besides acting, and you're showing it, right? And like I said, I really hope you do well because holy cow, like I a lot of the movies we watch, right? They're horror movies. We get a ton of independent movies. That's our forte. We try to get the independent movies on. And it seems like a lot of them mail it in, right? And it's just good to see like you, like the lady who was soccer mom, the lady who was in I'm Haunted too, the other redhead, kind of with the braces, right? Like all you guys are really good at what you do. It's just like I just hope that portal to fame opens up for you. You know what I'm saying? Because
Boy,
I
yeah, I do know what you're saying. I'm waiting too.
yeah, I've been waiting all my life, and I'm 61, but I got no looks, I got no talent, right? And I can occasionally tell a joke, whereas you have it all. And I could see you in a like a Disney musical. Hopefully not a remake because they've been ruining them. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
could
know.
see you in a musical, right? Like, have you ever been in like Grease or West Side Story? No,
Hey, why did you bring up Grease?
serious.
What is that? Broadway North is actually doing Grease this summer, so that's crazy that you brought that up. But yes, Musical theater is my first passion. That is, like I
Hmm.
had said in high school, that is how I got into this. And when I went to post-secondary, that is what I took. I took musical theater first. Um, that is what I love, like
Hmm.
to my core. I love acting and I love singing, but putting them together is just it's just next level. And if I just like won the lottery, got, $60 million and I was going to make whatever film I wanted, it would be a musical, 100%. And I'm constantly,
Hmm.
constantly looking for those opportunities for musical movies. They're just very rare. A lot of people in the industry, in the indie industry
Hmm.
especially, just aren't making that. Everybody's making horrors or
Hmm. Yeah.
dramas or comedies or whatever. They're not making musicals as often. And I'm constantly on the lookout for that. So if you find anything, send it
No,
to me,
not,
John.
not I definitely will. Trust me. I mean, in the Philadelphia area, we're not a big movie place. I mean, other than like Rocky and
Yeah.
occasionally like a football movie. But um, if honest, and I get casting things all the time. If I see something, I will send it to you. But then I
Same
want
here.
credit underneath your name. John
Uh,
Basong sent me this.
Done. Deal.
Yeah, or the Mad Darbarian sent me this. I could see
Okay.
that going well, but oh my goodness.
I love giving credit where credit's due. It takes more than just one person to do most things in this
Oh,
industry. So yes,
yeah.
of course.
I've learned that. I've only been doing this show for a year. Our anniversary's coming up in June. And because I've learned a lot, you know, to get where you want to go, right? You got not just be nice to people, but like, you know, being polite and then learning, again, like I said, I'm 61 and I'm learning this
Hmm.
business, right? You're 26, right? You have your whole life ahead of you with like you got more talent in your backpack than I got in my pencil case. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like I said, I'm rooting for you, right? From down here in the dungeon, I'm down here rooting for you, And I
Appreciate
could
that.
and I could say that because it's funny. Like when we did our preview, right? And the God is my partner, he was like, you got to say taking America by storm, right? And it's just funny because when you were in Grotesque, we had so many people, right, write us and ask, like, where did you get that movie? Because
Oh,
we have the independent movies, right? Like, no one's seen them, as opposed to like this week we got Spider Baby with Lon Chaney Jr. Talk about bad.
oh,
Lon Chaney Jr. was mailing it in for a check. I mean, it was so bad. But then, like I said, with Grotesque, a lot of people like, where did you get that? Who was that? Da, 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 right? And then that's when I was like, um, talking to our station manager, John. I'm like, do you have any other movies from Higher Universe? He's like, well, I just made an agreement with them. And, you ran off all the ones we're going to get from you. And, all of them you've been in. You've been in every one, which is just kind of cool because it's kind of like people are asking about you. Oh, she's going to be on again this week. So, just a couple more questions. I feel like I'm taking up way too much of your time. But when you were in I'm Haunted, right? So I'm
hmm,
Haunted, again, it like like Cloverfield, like um oh my God, what was the camping one? Blair Witch Project,
yeah.
right? And actually the Blair Witch Project was done by three people not too far from where I live. They went to high school with my brother-in-law,
Oh,
right?
cool.
But like those kind of movies, right? To me, it's always like, you know, I wasn't into them, right? And I was bumming because I was really hoping to be into Blair Witch Project because I sort of knew the people secondhand. But when you were doing it and just the how you went from and the one scene where you were sitting there on the bed and you're talking to Sear, right? And all of a sudden, like, I forget what he said, and like you just went from happy to like, I'm scared to death, and your face just completely changed, right? And then when you were in I'm Haunted 2, right? And you popped up at the end, I'm like, she's dead, right? Because the last scene you were in and I'm Haunted, you're lying on the floor like this with your legs up in the air. So, you know, now I'm Haunted 3. all right, at the end of that. And I'm sure there's going to be I'm Haunted 4, what all you guys are doing out in that other universe, wherever that field happens to be, right? I mean that was it was neat because like I've never seen anything like that before, and the way that you guys, went from one to two to three, and three was a lot different than two. Two and one were pretty much, I think, the same kind of movie, but when three, they're investigating back. I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. You know what I mean? So I got to say that you guys up at Higher Universe are doing a great job. You know. So the other Chamberlain, is that your husband or is that your
Todd
brother? Yeah.
is my dad.
Your dad, okay. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like Todd Che, oh, must be your husband, right? But oh,
No, that's my dad slash dadager. He's my manager as
oh,
well.
okay, okay, all
Yeah.
right. That's
But that
perfect.
actually, that happens all the time. And even if
Okay.
people don't even know his name, like if we're walking the strip on Vegas or something, people will be like, "Good job" to him, and it's like, "This is my daughter."
Oh,
Like, ah. And
that puts the creep in creepy right there.
oh
Oh
God,
my
and on
goodness.
set all the time, that's most of people's like first assumption,
Mhm.
and then it's like, "Hey, dad," "Hey, daughter," and then people
And they're
get it.
probably going, like, I'm
Yeah.
taking my niece out.
Oh God,
Oh.
I had one guy on set. If you want to talk about factor,
Mhm.
I had one guy on set be like, "So who's that Todd guy?" Whatever. And when I told him he was my dad, he was like, "Oh, so you're single?" And I was like,
So,
"What?" I was like,
so
"Also no, but
yeah, like Jim Carrey. So I got a chance.
yeah." It's like that was the only reason. Oh, so weird.
That's funny, man.
Ugh.
So, well, at least with your dad, you don't have to give him a big percentage. You could chop him down for.
Um, I think I'm the one benefiting
It
from
darn
having my
right. That's
dad
what I'm
more
saying.
than yeah,
Yeah. No, because normally
yeah.
they take 30%. It's what I've been told, you know.
Yeah, my agent used to take 15%. That was pretty standard at the beginning. And then of course there's certain companies that are excluded from that because I have a share in the company or whatever, like Higher
Mhm.
Universe, you know. But for the most part, honestly, I get paid so little that it's not worth fighting over.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But my dad does his own stuff. He's an executive producer on his own,
Oh,
and
wow.
he helps produce films that I have nothing to do with, and I do a lot of acting that he has nothing to do with, and then
Mm.
we do have a decent amount of overlap. But we are both independent people as well, so
Oh,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
yeah,
Oh, you got a family business going on.
yeah, somewhat, yeah.
So, what do you have coming up? What's
Coming
new
up,
to be
so
released? Music,
uh,
videos, what?
there's so much to be released. It's actually crazy.
I
It
got all
sometimes
night.
it
No, I know you don't. Go ahead.
sometimes it really surprises me because actually what is out there for people to see is all stuff that I've done years ago, right?
Hmm.
And it's like what I'm working on now, people are all the time they're like, "Oh, I just saw you last week. You were in San Francisco and you were shooting The Vigilantes. When's that going to be released?" And it's like, "Not for a couple years. Like, I don't know." Like, I have no idea, but
Hmm.
that's the way it is in this industry. I have no clue. I show up on set, I do my work, and then I leave, and I have no idea until something's going to be released. And
Wow.
I've done 4 or 5 films with the Mahal brothers now over the last 2 year, 3 years or
Mm-hmm.
something, and they're the highest budget projects that I've been on ever. Other than Space Command, Space Command is probably higher budget, but
Mm-hmm.
that one's still being worked on. But yeah, the Mahal brothers are one of the highest budget films that I've been on, and none of them are released. Like nobody
Hmm.
can see any of them, right?
Wow.
Um, because honestly, films that are bigger like that just take more time in post production, and
Yeah.
it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, just find distributors, from what I hear, is insane too. Because,
yes, distribution.
yeah.
Also, the Mahals do so many films. They do a decent, like they do a handful a year, which a
Mm.
lot of people don't. A lot of people do one every couple of years. But their company is able to pump out a lot of films, so they end up backlogging them a little bit. So,
Hmm.
because if they just be like, here's all the 10 films that we just filmed, like all at once, that's not a good, project plan.
Hmm.
So they do end up spacing them out a little bit. Um, and yeah, I just got cast in a film yesterday that I can't talk about yet because
Hmm.
It's not
I won't
been.
tell anybody.
Yeah, okay. It's not been
Listen,
announced yet,
okay.
but I'm excited about that one.
Is it going to be up in Canada or down here or
This will be shot in Canada.
okay?
Yeah, I think all of it will be shot in Canada, so that'll be exciting. I have another one in is it April? Yeah, it is April now. So at the end
Mm-hmm.
of April, I have another one that will be shot in Canada as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then in June, I'm going to LA, so I'll be shooting a film in LA in June. That one is called The Soldier's Descent. I can talk about that one because that one's public, so
Okay.
that's good.
What's
A
that
soldier.
about?
It's about well, I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but the general outline is that it's kind of a military movie, and
Mm-hmm.
it does dip into the thriller kind of
Okay.
aspect as well. So that
Look
one's gonna
forward
be
to
really,
that.
really cool.
Cool.
What?
So I look forward to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah.
That one's gonna be pretty cool. I like the people that are involved. I like Andrew Pearson and Krissa. Like they're just cool people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like good vibes all the way through. So that'll be probably a really easy shooting process. Um, so that one will be fun. And Brandon and I are doing some stuff coming up here in May that
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk about yet, but it'll be like Brandon and I can't keep anything a secret, so it'll be released
Mm-hmm.
right away. It'll be in the
Excellent.
next month or
Excellent.
something. Everybody will be talking about it.
Yeah. So
Um,
busy is good.
Busy is
You know,
good. Busy is
busy is
really good
good.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're doing all of that, what happens to you teaching at at the kids? I mean,
Yeah, so
you just fill in when you're in town or?
yeah, I don't teach full time.
Oh,
I
okay.
typically only teach in the fall. The last 5 years that I've taught, I have taught in the fall for Broadway North Youth.
Mm,
This fall, I will not be doing that anymore.
mm,
But for the last 5 years, that's what I have been doing. So my teaching right now is kind of postponed as this is picking up a lot more for
hmm.
me,
Good.
and this is occupying more of my time. It is sad. I will miss the kids
Mm,
a lot, to be honest. I'm a little bit sad about that. It is fulfilling in a different way. But I will probably be teaching again in the future, you know.
mm.
And it's one of my dreams to be a professor someday. So
Oh, wow.
I do imagine that that will be in my future at some point.
Wow. Hey,
Yeah,
Van
hopefully.
Halen sang a song about that. Hot for teacher. All right. All right. All right. Well, I've sucked up almost an hour of your time. You don't know how much I appreciate this,
I
right?
appreciate it too.
Yeah, because like I said, it's the first time I've actually interviewed anybody that was actually good in a movie, as opposed to like some of the really bad horror flicks to people like God. Anyway, but I like I said, I really appreciate this. And anytime you have anything, right, that you guys want shown on a New York station, right, let us know and we will put it on.
I really
You know.
appreciate that. It takes people like you and companies like
Mm,
yours to get the word out about these kinds of things. You know, we have a lot of people in Grotesque. We have a lot of people in the higher universe community. We have like 300 people or some, you know, it's
wow.
crazy. But even if all those 300 people share the movie, which they don't, but even if every single person did share the
Mm,
movie, that's not enough. That's not enough to go viral.
mm,
That's not enough to get out to all of the different communities because we're all from the same area, right?
mm,
So like
mm,
all of our friends all know about it and that's it. That's where it stops. So it
mm.
takes people like you to get the word out there. So we really appreciate that too.
Yeah, and like I said, our goal is to have at least two independent movies a month. So we've gotten in the Philadelphia area, there Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware area. There's a huge horror independent community that we've had a bunch of movies on, and every one of those guys have been great. You know what I mean? Just because they're like, you want to show it on TV, and when they hear we're out in New York, we're like second from the bottom station in New York, but you know what I mean? People like, oh, you'll show it. And it was flattering to me that people would say, hey, we'll let you show the movie. And like I
Hmm.
said, with you guys, we've had 5 of your movies and we got two more, yeah, Haunted 2 and 3 coming up. And I forget what one. Oh, Fangs is from the other guy. There's another group out of Indiana that we have a bunch from. and we've been showing them also. But again, thank you very much, and I
Thank you.
wish you the most success out of anybody I've ever met, right?
Uh,
And don't, and when you're holding that Oscar up there, right, you could, I just want you to go, and I want to thank the Mad Darbarian for having me on Cemetery Cinema for Grotesque those 10 years ago. All right, then don't. All right.
okay, got it. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Writing
But
it
no,
down now.
but the thing that we look for, right, is we get people, in with these independent movies, and as you guys move up, right, you'll remember us, we'll remember you, and you know what I mean, and it'll just be a synergy, of everybody working together. So
I
thank
agree.
you very much. So Warriors, this was Elizabeth Chamberlain, star of stage and screen, the Canadian red hair princess. All right. And guys, and we have this interview tariff free, which is even more amazing with all the crazy political stuff we got going on. So again, thank you very, very much. 2, 3, boom. All right. Can you do me two favors?
Maybe.
All right. Oh, please, please. All right. Can you do a quick promo? Like watch Cemetery Cinema on WON TV. Like I'm Elizabeth Chamberlain. Oh, blah blah blah. Watch Cemetery Cinema on WON TV.
Right now, like to the camera?
To the camera, yeah, because I'm going to use it as a promo.
Okay, I'm Elizabeth Chamberlain and watch Cemetery Cinema
Yeah,
at
like
W.
I'm Elizabeth Chamberlain from hidden whatever at
But what is it?
higher high
WOOTV? I've never even heard of this.
WON
WON, like one TV.
WON TV.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. You tell me if it's bad.
nah,
Ready?
go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Chamberlain. Watch Cemetery Cinema on WON TV.
Yeah, perfect. All right, and one more. Happy happy anniversary, Cemetery Cinema.
Happy anniversary, Cemetery Cinema.
Perfect. All right, cool. We got our first anniversary up, so I'm trying to
Yeah,
do promos for that stuff. But
sweet.
if you're ever in Philadelphia, right, and then honest, right, let me know, right? My wife and I will have you over. We'll make you a dinner. Now, are you a vegetarian?
No.
Okay, because in Grotesque too, you were, and I was kind of
Oh,
like,
right. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not
Right.
really.
Hey, we will make you. We'll smoke with that. We'll smoke some food for you, whatever you want. Come on down. My partner and I, Doc Dredd, we'll take you for a tour down Philly. You know what I mean? So anytime you're in town, let us know.
That'd be so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and if you get down here, right, within the next year, well, next year is the 250th. They're going to have it fixed, but they're fixing the crack in the Liberty Bell.
Ooh,
So
cool.
it's first time in 250 years they're finally fixing it.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, right. No, we're never going to fix it. That's a joke we tell people to come tour
Oh,
Philly. Never mind.
okay.
All
Never
right.
mind.
No,
I don't know.
that's no, no, no. If you ever tour Philadelphia, Liberty Bell is the centerpiece everybody goes to see, right? And back in 1976, when they had the bicentennial, this guy was standing outside with a bucket collecting money to fix the Liberty Bell, and he got $10,000, right?
Wow.
I think it was within like a month and a half, and
Oh,
it
wow.
yeah, and he would just stand there, right? And he had like a uniform on, looking like he was park police when he wasn't,
Mhm.
right? And when he got caught, somebody wrote about it in the newspaper, right? And like, this is really cool to be not. And then the park police were like, no, we're not doing that. Who's this guy? And they found him and they confiscated the money, right?
Oh,
And
no.
yeah, and they were going to arrest him, right? But they said that you've made Philadelphia lore. People will talk about you for the rest. So that's always a joke we have. Okay. It didn't go off as good as somebody who actually knows what the Liberty Bell is. So,
Sorry.
all right. But all right, well, thank you very much, and have a blast at your ballet class. And
Thank you.
keep on doing what you're doing, because let me tell you something, you got talent, and I see you're like Jennifer Lawrence, man. I think you'll be up there and you'll be doing really, really well. I could
Thank
see
you.
you in the
I hope
next
so.
the next X-Men, you know?
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
so fun.
yeah. But you got the red hair. You could be Jean Grey. Oh my God.
I could.
Oh, oh my God. I could see it now. Man.
Make it happen, John. Come
Yeah. Oh
on.
yeah. With
Let's
all my
go.
connections at Marvel, right?
Yeah.
I could like, yeah, I want to be the Thing, but they told me I was too short. So,
Mm,
all right. All right. Well, thank you very much and take care.
thanks.
All
You
right.
too,
And
John.
do well in whatever you do. Trust me,
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Oh, that was fun.